Right, let's bring back into the conversation our own eNCA senior researcher, Angelo Fick. Angelo, no doubt you are soaking up, absorbing all the words that we are hearing about Winnie Madikizela Mandela this afternoon. I want to go back to that media conference just a while ago and Gwede Mantashe's statement about Madikizela Mandela being that figure who would tell the party what was right and wrong at any given time, and saying they would miss that kind of forthright guidance from her. What sort of stance did she take on the ANC in recent years?
She was often very critical of the party, and not just in recent years. She was very critical of the party on all sorts of occasions, and it's one of those moments where it's easier now to kind of validate that critique. But at the times that she was making the critique, not everybody in the organisation and not everybody in South Africa were quite as welcoming of the critique when she made it. And I think this is one of those moments where it is important to acknowledge that, yes, she was a certain kind of gadfly inside the ANC, a sort of thorn in the side of the party, refusing to simply dip under and speak up and out against exigencies of power, against the kinds of directions that she felt the party was taking. But she was also a figure of conciliation. She was able to bring together people that we knew were at loggerheads with one another. For example, at one of her recent birthday parties, she was able to bring Julius Malema into a conversation, at least, with some of the ANC people who had been responsible for kicking him out. And so this role of both critic and conciliator is one that I think really is very difficult for many people who observe Winnie Mandela and want their own projection of her to simply exist, to come to terms with. And so there is, for me, always this necessity of understanding somebody's power, but also understanding how they exercise that power in a very specific context. And this context in South Africa is a deeply misogynistic society that doesn't brook women with power very well. It doesn't treat them very well. And Winnie Mandela, certainly both in apartheid and in post-apartheid South Africa, suffered some of that misogynistic treatment, which was not meted out to many of the men who did far worse things than she is accused of having done.